Good afternoon, everyone. Coach, whenever you're ready.
I'm just going to cover injuries real quick for you guys. I'll give you guys a second to all log in, but give them 1 second, Ryan. All right, just going over injuries real quick from yesterday. Max Mitchell, he's dealing with something with stinger. He should be good to go. Joe Tippmann, he'll be fine. Had a little calf contusion. Becton, same things that he'll be going through. And then a bunch of nicks and bruises from the game. Nick Bodden, Breece Hall, Dalvin, Zach, Garrett Wilson, Jod Franklin Myers, Jordan Whitehead, Chaz Surratt. Just a bunch of little nicks and bruises from the game, but they're all good for practicing games.
What was Zach's?
I think he got hit somewhere. He's fine though. He's fine. Let me see. Knee. But there's no worry.
How did he, looking at the tape again, what impressed you the most about his game?
He was awesome. I felt like he was extremely decisive. He played fast. There were a lot of oh crap moments where I felt like he stayed within the moment and made things work. He made a lot of things happen on his own, off schedule. He was really, really good, man. He was, like I said, I said it after the game, and just after watching the tape and looking at it in more detail, it was the best game that he's played, in my opinion.
Robert, when you look at that, when you see the film, do the coaches say to Zach, like, hey, this is what we need. This is what we want from you. Is that kind of the message you sent to him at this point?
He already knows. And it's not like it's not without trying. There's a lot of things that go into play in terms of I felt like the O-line played halfway decent, gave them some protection. I thought our receivers were winning their one-on-one battles. He gave guys opportunity balls to go make plays, like Conklin on a couple of one-on-one shots, Garrett on a couple of shots, and he was very decisive in getting to the check down rather than trying to hold to let things develop. He was canceling and saying no faster, getting it to Breece. And when he had an opportunity to get it to Garrett, he got it to Garrett, and he was moving the ball around. And like I said, I thought he was extremely decisive, and he played extremely fast.
How are you going to do it again, Robert?
Same, whatever he ate Saturday night, just go do it again, man. No, he's good. He's been working. He's been getting better, and give him credit. He played free on Sunday.
I know you guys needed a win, but how much do you think Zach needed a performance like that with everything that's gone on with him?
Winning in the league is always a good thing. Like I said, it's euphoria or disaster, but it doesn't matter how many times you win in this league or how good you've played. It's always good to have another good one under your belt. And for Zach, I don't think, like I said, this is different than last year. I don't think he lacks confidence at all in himself at all. And but it's always good to get the affirmation, and he strung together a really good football game. Even in the first half, I thought we were stringing together a couple of drives that went south, obviously, and we weren't getting points, but we had opportunities, and just going in the locker room and just knew that we were going to be able to start stringing things together. And for all intents and purposes, the one drive where he was trying to make a play and ended up with the fumble, I thought we were going to go score there too. And but the most impressive drive that we were able to string together was the one after the fumble they scored, and then we come back with a 10-play drive that puts it back to a 2-score lead. Again, just thought it was composed, bounced back, stayed aggressive, and stayed confident.
Robert, is there any part of you that watches that offense in the second half and says, where has this been?
No, it's just it's more right now. The focus is more how do we build on it, so if we can continue that. And there's consistency is always the truest measure of performance, and it could be good and bad. And so yesterday was really good, and we've got to find a way to go do it again.
What exactly has Aaron been doing in practice, and how has he looked so far?
Aaron's been, like I said, he's going through a rehab schedule, and I'll be honest, Rich, when it comes to the rehab stuff, he's doing the drills, he's routes on air, he does the flight school, so he's doing a little bit of everything. What he does off the field, I'm not quite sure. Obviously, they're in his rehab schedule, but he's doing what a backup quarterback would do, I guess.
Robert, there was a report on TMZ earlier today that the expectation was he'd be medically cleared for Christmas Eve. Can you confirm if that's the case, or have you heard anything regarding that?
Nick, I don't have any knowledge on that one. If that's something that he's had with his personal doctor out in L.A., I'm not privy to that yet.
Thank you.
Is it, if you guys are still mathematically alive after Sunday, is it conceivable that he could play the 24th?
I have no idea, honestly, Rich. I'm so focused on this one and just trying to make sure we put our best foot forward on Sunday.
The reason we're asking is because that's his date, that Aaron circled on the
No,
calendar. So we're inching toward that, and also the closure of that window coming up in a little over a week. So
no, I get it. I respect I respect it all. Honestly, we are approaching it as if he's in rehab, and when the doctor gives us his doctor's note to clear him for the next stage, that's when we'll have those discussions. But right now, the only thing that we're focusing on are the guys that are that we've got to prepare to play on Sunday.
Robert, a couple weeks ago when you benched Zach, it kind of felt like maybe his time here was through. But do you think, can he play his way into the plans for 2024 in these last few weeks?
Well, anything can happen. That's especially in this sport. It's like a New York minute, right? It swings from one pendulum to the next. But he just needs to focus on week to week, just putting his best foot forward and being the best version of him he can be. Like I said, yesterday was awesome. One thing I think that gets lost in the shuffle, we had he did such a great job on that drive following the fumble, a phenomenal job. The entire offense staying aggressive, getting into the end zone, and that was the first two-score. I think that was the first two-score lead we've had going into the fourth quarter, and it coincided with 3 consecutive 4-and-outs. Defensively pinned our ears back, and not one first down was given in that fourth quarter. So really good complementary football, but it started with our offense staying aggressive in the way he played. So to answer your question, we just got to take it one day at a time.
Take a couple more, Coach. A couple more.
There was a report, Robert, out of Utah, Zach's home, that you guys had already told him the plan was to trade him in the offseason. Is there any truth to that?
My conversations with him are to do everything he can to get ready to play a football game. As far as all that other stuff is concerned, those are things I'll leave for Joe.
one guy we haven't asked you about in a while, Connor McGovern, where is he? I know when he went on IR, there was some hope that he might be able to come back. Does that still exist, or is it pretty much?
No, he had season-ending surgery.
Okay. Do you know how long ago that was?
Oh God, I don't have that on me. I'm sorry, Rich. We can get that to you. I'll have Eric get that to you.
Robert, from a coach's standpoint, with everything that Zach dealt with last week, for you as a coach looking at him, does that earn a little bit of respect, more respect from you, what he was able to do and how he was able to handle that?
He already has my utmost respect in the sense that I don't know if I've seen somebody get as beat up in terms of the road that he's had to travel in the 3 years. It's been rocky. There's been a lot of adversity, and he keeps bouncing back. And like I said, he attacked the week. He was excited to have the opportunity to play in this game, and he played. He played for his teammates, and he played his heart out. And I thought again, but for him, like, the kid just keeps bouncing back. So his resilience is he's a very impressive young man in that regard.
Robert, it's almost become expected from Quinnen, like what he does week in and week out. But when you turn on the film and watch how he's just blowing people up, Just like, what can you say about the way he's been playing?
No, it is. Sometimes you get spoiled watching it because you expect it. And when it doesn't happen, you're like, well, geez, Quinnen, why didn't you win your 10th one-on-one? Why'd you let him, but he is a dominant football player in every sense of the word. He's one of the top 5 defensive players in football, not just at his position. He's deserved everything that he's gotten in his career, and he continues to make everybody feel good about what he earned. And but his off the field character, his on the field character, his play demeanor, all of it is exactly what you want out of an all-pro football player.
Are there any more questions for Coach? Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Coach.
Go ahead, you can get one
Last
more.
here.
I was just gonna ask, like, with the Dolphins playing tonight, do you, like, ask the players to watch the game? Like, do you some extra scouting? The game?
I'm sure they'll peek it, but that's we've got to do our best as coaches to give them the information and digest it for them as best as possible. But thanks, guys.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. This concludes today's.